Hello, I'm Chris. Welcome back to Marine Corner. Hope you're doing well and having a good week so far. This is just a quick book haul video. I got 5 books for £4.29. I feel like that was a really good value. One of the paperbacks was actually the dearest book on the pile. But yeah, so I'm just going to go through what I bought, what I got. So first up, I got a short story collection, one I've read before, from the library. Seen it in hardback, and because it's October, I thought, well, I'll pick it up. It's called Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca. It has 3 stories in here. It has Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke, The Enchantment, You'll Find It's Like That All Over. I planned on reading this between novels on holiday last year with my son and my parents. I just read this all in one go. I find it really good. So it says, a whirlpool of darkness churns at the heart of a macabre ballet between 2 lonely young women in an internet chat room in the early 2000s. A darkness that threatens to forever transform them once they finally succumb to their most horrific desires. A couple isolate themselves on a remote island in an attempt to recover from their teenage son's death when a mysterious young man knocks on their door during a storm, and a man confronts his neighbour when he discovers a strange object in his backyard, only to be drawn into an ever more dangerous game. 3 devastating, beautifully written horror stories from one of the genre's most cutting-edge voices. What have you done today to deserve your eyes? Sorry, I'm struggling a bit with a cold, or at the start of a cold anyway. So that's that. So I paid £1 for that hardback, so that's £1. So I didn't pay a lot for these, but there's a couple of places I like helping this. These are from Mouse, and they're just reasonably priced. So this next one, I've read this author before, but haven't read this. I read Station 11, also from the library. This is The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel. It says, a captivating novel of money, beauty, crime, and moral compromise in which a woman disappears from a container ship off the coast of Mauritania and a massive Ponzi scheme implodes in New York, dragging countless fortunes with it. Vincent is the beautiful bartender at the Hotel Kayet, a 5-star glass and cedar palace on the northernmost tip of Vancouver Island. New York financier Jonathan Alkitis owns the hotel. When he passes Vincent his card with a tip, it's the beginning of their life together. That same day, a hooded figure scrawls a note on the windowed wall of the hotel. Why don't you swallow broken glass? Leon Prevant, a shipping executive for a company called Neptune Avramidis, sees the note from the hotel bar and is shaken to his core. 13 years later, Vincent mysteriously disappears from the deck of a Neptune Avramidis ship. Weaving together the lives of these characters, Emily St. John Mandel's The Glass Hotel moves between the ship, the towers of Manhattan, and the wilderness of remote British Columbia, painting a breathtaking picture of greed and guilt, fantasy and delusion, art and the ghosts of our past. So that sounds really good. And that was also £1. So in M-House, the paperbacks are 50p and the hardbacks are £1. It did used to be 3 books for £1, 3 hardbacks for £2. So then it always felt like I was buying, like I was buying 2 books I really wanted and then buying a third. Whereas now I'm like, if I only want to get one, I only get one. Next up is a Stephen King one that I picked up because it was 50 pence, and I have one of them. I have one of them. I can't remember the name. I have the one I have. It's one of the hard case crime ones I have. But this is the Colorado Kid. On an island off the coast of Maine, a man is found dead. There is no identification on the body, only the dogged work of a pair of local newspapermen and a graduate student in forensics turns up any clues, and it's more than a year before the man is identified. And that's just the beginning of the mystery, because the more they learn about the man and the baffling circumstances of his death, the less they understand. Was it an impossible crime or something stranger still? No one but Stephen King could tell this story about the darkness at the heart of the unknown and our compulsion to investigate the unexplained, with echoes of Dashiell Hammett's The Maltese Falcon and the work of Graham Greene. One of the world's great storytellers presents a moving and surprising tale whose subject is nothing less than the nature of mystery itself. So it seems really cool. And it's also like illustrated as well. So yeah, I picked it up because I like Stephen King, and I'm trying to whip through all these novels. Obviously that one's going to be right down the bottom of the pile. I just can't remember the hard case crime one I had. I got one, I can't remember the name of it now. Joyland. I've got Joyland, that's the one I've got. Right, I've got two more books to show. This is the last one I got from M House. This was also 50p. I got it because it was a vintage classic. It is Angela Carter, Nights at the Circus. I have another one by her that I've not read as well, but I can't remember the name of it. The Bloody Chamber. I think it's got other stories in that. So this says, is Sophie Feathers a toast of Europe's capitals, part swan or all fake? Courted by the Prince of Wales and painted by Toulouse-Lautrec, she is an aerialist extraordinaire and star of Colonel Kearney's circus. She is also part woman, part swan. Jack Walser, an American journalist, is on a quest to discover the truth behind her identity. Dazzled by his love for her and desperate for the scoop of a lifetime, Walser has no choice but to join the circus on its magical tour through the turn of the 19th century London, St. Petersburg and Siberia. So that sounds really cool. Like I said, I like my vintage classics, so for 50p I decided to pick it up. They did have Graham Greene as well, and they also had Wide Sagasta Sea by Jean Rice that I was going to pick up, but when I saw it, it was all annotated. But it was in pen. If it were in pencil, I'd have bought it and rubbed it out or ignored it. And then finally I got this one today. It was £1.29. So my dearest book on the list. It's also called Vintage Classic. It's by Eric Maria Remarque. It's All Quiet on the Western Front. One by one, the boys begin to fall. In 1914, a room full of German schoolboys, fresh-faced and idealistic, are goaded by their schoolmaster to troop off to the glorious war. With fire and patriotism of youth, they sign up. What follows is the moving story of a young unknown soldier experiencing the horror and disillusionment of life in the trenches. It sounds really good. It is only 200 pages as well, so it's quite a short, thin one, but it's one I wanted to read. So yeah, that's what I got. So I'm going to add all them to the TBR list. as and when I feel. I feel like Eric LaRocca will get added sooner, and Hilary St. Mandel, and All Quiet on the Western Front. Stephen King, I'm working through publication order, so it will be a while. But yeah, that's what I got. Just thought I'd show them off. I'll be back on Thursday with a Cornered by Books. Hopefully I won't sound like I'm full of a cold and blow my nose and stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to show them off now. Now I can get them away. Bye.